Hello and welcome to the Women's Cricket Live Show. Obviously, me and Trishadi joining you from straight from Birmingham as we are gearing up for India's first game in the ongoing ICC Women's T20 World Cup against Pakistan on June 14. But before that, today we have a triple-headed day. But among those three games, two games are very crucial in terms of getting results in those particular defined groups that they are put in. The first game that we will talk about in this video, that is the Australia versus South Africa one that is going to happen in Manchester. And Trishadi, a huge game. Australia getting knocked out by South Africa only in the last T20 World Cup
Oh,
semi-final.
I thought knocked out abhi se kaise?
In the last T20 World Cup, yes. So I think they will be gearing up and facing two big teams facing each other in their tournament opener. How big is it? And obviously a big opportunity also, but this is also big pressure.
See, I think the point is Group A has Australia, South Africa, and India, and significance of this match in general for the World Cup is huge. But now, see it from the group's point of view, the occasion becomes that much bigger because today, and I have been repeatedly saying this, if say for example, if Australia wins the game, then I think it becomes easier for someone like India because you are already playing Pakistan and Netherlands, and then you're going to play South Africa, who needs to win that game. But the entire stakes change if South Africa win this game. If South Africa wins this game, then South Africa come into the India match
In
as
a
a
better
team
position.
that could seal their playoff spot. If they win against Australia, if they win against India, the playoff spot is sealed. And then India carries that pressure to the India-Australia game, which is the group's last game. Same goes for Australia. If Australia loses today, they also carry that pressure right to the end. So this game is huge. I think it's bigger than the West Indies, New Zealand.
Yeah.
This is probably even West Indies, New Zealand. I think these two games are probably going to decide the top four. In fact, I will go one because I am famous for giving controversial opinions. Yes, and my opinion is if South Africa win today, India is looking at another group stage exit.
Okay, that's a bold prediction from Trishadi. But absolutely, I also agree that India whole team will keep an eye on this result also today. Obviously, they have their practice into the press conferences, also the pre-match press conference. As tomorrow they will take on field against the arch rival Pakistan. But Trishadi,
I don't
talking
think
about
Pakistan is our arch rival.
that we have you just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but talking about the other game, Tushari, as you mentioned, the New Zealand versus West Indies one, the defending champions back on the field. West Indies, you never know what kind of a performance we're getting from those. Obviously, Halle Matthews again the key player for them. The challenge will be others to chip in. Still, we don't know about the injury status of Chanel Henry. That's a huge setback if she doesn't play. But for New Zealand, how do you say? How do you seeing that game? Because considering the way England have started the World Cup, the way they registered that big win yesterday, they will also know that Net Planet will play a big part now going forward.
Yes, and again, it's the same thing. Because West Indies is that inconsistent, you are not really saying that that is also a group of death with England, New
Yeah.
Zealand, and West Indies. But ultimately, in fact, Group B qualification scenario can be tougher than Group A because right now another Group A game is sorry, Group B game is
Yeah,
going on.
Scotland, Ireland.
Scotland, Ireland. Scotland has not lost a single wicket in the 4 overs. There's some 30 odd. That group there will be upsets because West Indies is inconsistent, England is inconsistent, New Zealand is inconsistent, and now add to that absolutely the way England won yesterday was just outstanding. Just don't even have the words. Like they have suddenly taken the game one notch up and made it tougher in Group B because New Zealand and West Indies, one of them will be losing today. Again, it could go and affect that top four, the run rate, as you said, winning, and this is the same thing for Australia, South Africa. Not today's game, but India, Australia, South Africa playing against the smaller teams, they have to win big, which is something I think. Sri Lanka is not a small team, but of course, they have not been able to put up those consistent performances. So as I was saying, I think West Indies, New Zealand, again, another top four deciding clash. And West Indies on their day, you never know, a Glasgow performing, just chipping in, along with the Haley Matthews performance. Haley Matthews with the bat and ball will be exceedingly important. In the same way as a Amelia Kerr will be exceedingly important with the bat and the ball for New Zealand. If Amelia Kerr can score, if a Sophie Devine can chip in, and it's an emotional occasion for Sophie Devine, Susie Betts, Lee Tahu, a tough decision to get the best playing 11 as far as New Zealand is concerned. I think it's much easier for West Indies because the only player they really need to think about would be Haley Matthews. Another huge thing is the fact that Chanel Henry is injured. Where is she in the fitness? What is happening? That also becomes important. And West Indies without Chanel Henry is a much weaker side than with Chanel Henry.
Absolutely. As you mentioned,
Why
Chanel
is
Henry,
somebody crying saying Smriti di?
Smriti.
स्मृति बीच में कहाँ से आ गई भाई? सब ठीक है, स्मृति भी ठीक है, सब
सब
ठीक है.
ठीक है, सब ठीक है. But as you mentioned, Sunil Henry is set to play a key role in this World Cup for West Indies. But it's very unfortunate the injury that she had. But let's see whether she plays the first game or not. But coming back to the South Africa Australia game, Shadi, for Australia after 2023, they are yet waiting for another World Cup title. 2024, 2025, they failed in both time in semi-finals. How do you see another World Cup, a big challenge under new captain Sophie Molyneux, and that too, the first game against South Africa, one of the top teams in this World Cup. There is no doubt about that. So how do you see the challenge? And if you can add the bowling, difference between the bowling units of both sides, because we all know what kind of a bowling unit South Africa have, and then compared to Australia, where we have someone like Megan Chu playing at last one.
Absolutely. Again, both the sides have a number of players who are playing the last World Cup. Could be Marizana Cap, Shabnam Ismail at the other end, Dane. And at this end, there will obviously be Megan Shue, Ellis Perry, Beth Mooney. So yes, there's this emotional side of things too. For I think India is one of those sides probably who doesn't have anyone to retire in the pipeline. But other than that, every single side has that emotional part to it. But then with Australia, one thing is people talking about them not winning the World Cup, and the other thing is the group around them and themselves, the group talking about it. And it has been clear over and over again in their interviews. First of all, Australia is a side which hates to lose. There is nothing, no, it's not like the other teams love to lose. But then there's one thing about losing, accepting it, learning, and moving on. And the other thing is being bitter about it. Does it help them or not is a very separate thing to see in the future. But the truth is, even Sophie Molyneux in one of her interviews has mentioned we have not had the silverware for two World Cups, two consecutive World Cups, and that bothers them. They are going to come mighty hard. Problem, I think, biggest problem is the captain herself. She's not the problem. No, there's no inside gossip here. The only problem there is her injury prone. Her career has been completely more about injury than about her wicket taking, bowling. But she can bowl, she can chip in with the bat as well. And the difference is, look, that's very marginal difference. Only thing is South Africa, I feel, even in my preview, I have written this, that South Africa probably has been playing their best cricket for the last 2 years. And I genuinely believe that if they do not win this World Cup, they're not winning it again. I know it sounds so pessimistic that there will be so many World Cups, but I do not believe that they are going to win the World Cup if they don't win it, this year. This is the year that they have to win.
Yes, considering the talents that they have in every department, I think it is a very big year for South Africa. If they don't do this year, definitely it is going to be difficult for them. Okay, so I think as of now, this is it. Obviously, we'll come up with the post-match videos of every match
Yeah.
together in one video.
Yeah, in one video,
Yeah,
not 3 months.
and definitely with the practice updates and the PC updates as well from India and Pakistan press conferences. Till then, take care and please keep an eye on their posts for all the latest updates for regarding all type of sports. Please keep an eye on their posts and please like, share, and subscribe. Till then, take care and goodbye.